Hey, this is Charles from Smart Wealth Lifestyle, and I'm going to show you something special. I'm going to show you how to retire early using this special strategy. And different people, of course, have different reasons. Like, for example, myself, I love to travel. I want to be able to travel every single month. If you are stuck in a job that wants you to only take vacations once a year, only gives you 2 weeks a year to travel, sometimes people get 4 or more. Thing is, that's a restriction. On the other hand, my wife, it's not just about traveling. She loves traveling, but she also wants to have a house in some of the popular destinations, some of the destinations that she loves going to. And so I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if we had real estate all over the place and we could just chill every single month in a different place that we love going to, of course. And so whatever your goal is, I'm going to go ahead and talk about that because of course, different people have different goals, and so you need to figure out why this is important to you. So once you figure out that you have these goals to retire early, you want to figure out what you need to do. And then there's actually a list of these short steps. Like, you want to be able to budget your money. You want to be able to control your spending, figure out where that's going. You want to be able to invest regularly. Different people invest in different ways. I'll go into that soon. A lot of people put money into their 401k, stocks, mutual funds, real estate, even their business. And then also, you want to be able to put money away in case you face an emergency. And I recommend stashing away 3 to 6 months of income. Even if you want to aggressively save for your retirement, you still want to be able to save up for these emergencies because they do come up when you don't expect them to. So let's go ahead and talk about the 6 steps that you need to do to retire early. So first of all, determine why you want to retire early, because when you go through this transformative process of saving, stashing away money, you will be motivated by these reasons, these desires that you have. You might want to be able to travel like me, and you might want to start your own business. That might be a means to an end, or it might be your end of wanting to do something just because you love doing it. Or you just want to spend more time with your family, whether you're married or not, have kids or not. There is something in your mind, and you must have that clear vision, because it will again motivate you to fulfill this goal. Any goal that you have in life that is worth accomplishing, you have to keep that in mind. You need to be motivated because it requires a lot of consistency and persistence, especially in this case for the long term. So let's go ahead and talk about your budget, because it's not just about looking at what you're spending. The thing is, you have to factor in your goals. Again, we talked about what your desires are, what will motivate you, but it's not, again, about just paying your bills. Like, here's some money for my groceries, my gas, my insurance. You have to factor in what you are willing to sacrifice in order to achieve your goal. That might seem kind of bad, sacrificing something, but if you think about all the major goals in your life, you'll realize that there's a sacrifice. So let's talk about adjusting your current budget. Because just sticking with your normal budget, your normal spending, that might not allow you to save up for your goals. And I would say that, like, let's say that if you are in a situation where you are spending a lot, especially going to the mall a lot, going out to eat a lot, going out with your friends a lot, those are all great, but those are also opportunities to save more money. Again, we want to focus on our goals, and we want to think about how we can prioritize what we're doing and see if that aligns with what we want to achieve, which is retiring early. So first of all, on step 3, you want to calculate your annual spending, especially when it comes to retirement. So I've talked about retiring early. Sounds very vague, but you want to think about what you will be able to do once you retire at a specific age. Remember, retirement isn't something where somebody tells you, oh, you need to retire at the age of 65, you need to retire at the age of 68 or 70 or 75. It's a factor of how much money that you'll need to live on. Again, factor in everything. So if you are married, have a partner, have kids, you want to factor in all of that, because it's not just about getting some imaginary number like somebody told me that I need $1 or $2 million. That is not a number that applies to everyone. There are many people nowadays that move outside the country, even here in the United States. I live here in Silicon Valley, and there are so many people that have this idea of going to Thailand, the Philippines, or some other country that is extremely low in cost compared to what it would cost here in America, especially in Silicon Valley. I'm here in like one of the most expensive cities in the nation. It will cost a lot of money to be here, like let's say anywhere from 2 to 5 million, depending on where I choose to live and what I choose to do. And if people want to live, like again, in a lower cost country, it might just be like a tenth of that. It really depends on what your goals are and how you choose to live. So factor that in, figure out what you need, because you're going to have to plan much more, especially with inflation. So what we want to do is think about, when we get older, what are the potential costs? Because the costs that we have right now may be less than what we will be spending in the future, or it might be the opposite. So an example is healthcare. Healthcare can be very expensive in the future, but then also people might have a mortgage. And as you get older, for most people, you'll pay down that mortgage over time, and you'll have more money to save, and you'll have less expenses. So factor those in. Now that you have your goal, step 4 is determining what you need to save, calculating how much funds you'll need, and then factoring in inflation. You can go to a wide variety of investment compound interest calculators out there and just type in, what do you need to make per year, whatever goal you have, and what you need to do to get there. So for example, you can find an investment calculator that says, I want to make $2 million a year, and I need to save this much, and it has to grow at this percentage. If you're conservative, aggressive, like somewhere in the middle, you might want to try putting in 8%. If you are extremely aggressive, try putting in 12%. And so that's what you want to try to do, and you want to see how long it takes, how much money it takes to achieve your goal, whatever millions of dollars that you wish to save for. Use an investment calculator for that. So what we also want to do is look at the fifth step here is we need a machine to be able to convert our money into something at a higher amount, and that machine is through investments. The mechanics are there. It's something that utilizes compound interest. I mentioned interest rates earlier. I'm not talking about like an interest rate as far as inflation. I'm talking about what potential interest or return on investment you can make. So you want to look at that. What is the growth in compound interest? How much can it grow per month, per year? When I mentioned 8 to 12%, that's per year. You can just factor that in and see how long it takes you to achieve your goal. So like, let's say that if you have a goal of $1 million, I'll just say roughly, if you are like, let's say close to 20 years old and you're going to retire at a normal age, I can say that you could achieve that 7-figure goal by the time you retire if you stash away, like let's say somewhere between 5 to 10K. So keep that in mind, because a lot of people don't have that idea. That is a lump sum, by the way. Some people could achieve the goal by investing, like let's say $200 to $500 a month if they're very young. So that's why you want to use an investment calculator. Again, go to Google, search for investment calculator. There are many out there, and many that show compound interest growth over time. Another thing that is extremely important, you have these different types of investments, whether it's stocks, mutual funds, real estate, business ventures. That's something that I also invest in greatly, because I feel that there is a lot of potential growing your business and earning a lot more money, something that you control, something where I like using the phrase control your economy. You have the personal control within your business to grow and earn a certain amount of income, whatever your goal is. So whatever strategy you use for growing your savings, you want to diversify. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because that carries a lot of risk. If you are very cautious of the risk out there, instead of stocks, you can look at mutual funds. That allows you to save money across many companies within the fund. So for example, S&P 500 is an index where it's split across 500 of the top companies. And so you want to go ahead and diversify your risk. A mutual fund or an ETF is one way of doing that. And also another thing is seeking professional advice. I'm not a financial consultant now, so you want to make sure you seek professional advice. I'm not here to give you advice, just give you some tips. And I can say that even though I know how to invest, I sought a financial professional, and this company is able to look at my funds, my goals, and proactively move around my investments every month. And it's not a mutual fund, it's actually an independent investment advisor. Actually, it's an investment advising team. So the whole team looks at my investments and they go ahead and reinvest into different areas. Step 6, keep your expenses in check. So this is a very crucial goal here, very big thing that you want to do, because if you are aggressive, if you want to retire early, you want to retire at a faster rate than most people, this is extremely important. If you see many of the people that have this lifestyle of financial independence and retiring early, they are extremely frugal, and they know that they have to cut their budget to save a lot more, especially if they are trying to reduce their retirement in half. They know that they have to stash away thousands of dollars a month. And this is something that you want to do. The more frugal you are, the faster you'll be able to achieve your goals, especially if you're investing in the right areas. Again, this is all for informational purposes. There's no guarantee here, but the chances are that you'll be able to retire faster by making an extreme lifestyle change and becoming more frugal, because you know that you can achieve your goals faster by becoming a frugal person and embracing minimalism and looking at ways to cut your expenses, especially unnecessary ones, and still live a great life. There are a lot of people out there that live on a very frugal budget, but they still enjoy life to their fullest. Of course, they know how to actually have that delayed reward, and that's extremely important while you motivate yourself to reach that goal of early retirement. Again, this is Charles from Smart Wealth Lifestyle. Make sure that you check out the link in my description where I offer some special tool that I use to invest, and it's something that has helped me over time to pick especially investments to reach my objectives, and I'm sure that it can help you too. So go ahead and check it out. And again, thanks for watching.